You, Matthew Dickinson, I'm amazed you're sitting down after 1,100 kilometres.
I grimaced when I sat down, first of all,
Did you
Richard.
make sounds?
I tried not to in the
Old
studio.
blokes make sounds when they sit down and they get up out of it.
Well, I think all the riders were making sounds when they'd stand up or move or do anything, but sitting down is certainly an issue. One, I won't go into detail, but one particular rider had some plastic surgery on his bottom. So that was an interesting little incident for him.
Black masking tape works wonders, doesn't it?
Till it has to come off.
Doesn't come off. It doesn't come. Satisfying?
Oh, very, very satisfying. And even just the riders at the end. I mean, there were a few tears from some of the riders at the end. Emails I received yesterday and even this morning around from the riders about the experience. And one of them just said to me from Sydney, he said, it's just sinking in what a fantastic experience and what a wonderful region you've got. He'd never been west of Dubbo. He'd been to Dubbo before, but never been west of Dubbo. Really? So getting at some of those areas, he was just blown away. And the people, and that's, I said to him at the end, how are you going? What did you think? And he said, the people are unbelievable. He said, just the spirit. He said, the riders, sure, but all these places.
Matty.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Heart of Australia.
Yeah, but his objective now is to get more people out around these areas. So that'll be fantastic if he can convince some of his friends to come out around these areas because people have no idea what we've got out here.
No, and we've got a lot.
We have, yeah.
Our heart's bigger than our head in some instances.
That's right. But even things like the Big Bogan and Stanley the Emu, I mean, some of those things, he thought they were fantastic, but had never heard of them.
No, there you go. So it's a big thing too. Money, of course, matters, I guess, nearly 90 grand.
Yeah, that's right. I think we'll get up close to that. 86 is a sort of figure I've been saying, but we might even squeeze up a few more dollars and get up close to 90. And sure, it's not the target. I wanted $100,000, but even if we get to 90, that's 90,000 more than Macquarie Homestay had a week ago.
That's right.
And it's still, in these tough times, it is still significant because people were doing it tough. Councils were doing it tough. People, when we organised things, even the auctions, you could see things going at auction that might have gone for $1,000 were going for $500. And so just in general, the money was tight everywhere we went. And that's understandable.
You had a puncture on the last lap, did you?
We had a puncher towards the end. We were trying to be right on time, and we left the last stop just on, right on the time we were meant to. And I reckon we got about 500 metres down the road and we had a puncher, so quickly fixed that. And then trying to make a bit of time at the end when you've got riders who have just done 1,100 kilometres and a bit of a headwind. Yeah, we're gonna knock people out. So we just went along at our pace. We got in about 10 minutes late.
Now you're still wearing your jacket too. Couldn't you take it off?
It's peeled. It's on me now. So can you smell it from there? Do you get smell-o-vision through the radio?
Yeah,
I'm sure some people can smell.
An old man's coat.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I'd wear it in and just to show you. It's got
now,
a nice
break
bright.
The record. You got logos all over it.
Yeah, nice. I was just going to show you the nice logo on the front there. So
underneath your right nipple.
Yeah, thank you. So, just where we wanted it placed. So look, Tudiu's been a great supporter. Thank you very much.
Always.
And
we have a bit of fun when we chat too.
Yeah, that's right. But we will get a Guinness World Record. The jersey's got more logos than it needs for the Guinness World Record.
You get in the Guinness, really?
Well, there's an application process. They're very stringent, which is great, and it'll take a couple of months for that to actually be ratified by Guinness.
2021 edition.
Well, no, it'll be a couple of months' time. We should have it ratified for that, and then we'll go again in 2021 because I know a gentleman that's broken our record before in England. He said he's going to have another go at taking it back office, and he's aiming for the London Marathon to do a fundraiser for the London Marathon and try and break it there.
Matty Dickinson, did you ever expect this to occur for your Tour de OROC?
Expect which part of it?
Yeah,
so many parts.
To be growing and growing and growing.
No, it was really a one-off. That was the whole design in the first place. It was Rod Crowfoot talking to the mayors around OROC at an OROC meeting back in 2013. And after that, I rang Rod and I said, Rod, have you got time for a coffee? I've got a bit of an idea and let's invite Andrew McKay along for a coffee as well because he knows everything about cycling events. And we kind of talked about it. Let's make it happen. And we kind of designed it as a bit of a one-off. And let's just do it in a few months' time and we'll knock it over, and that was great, and get it started. So we got this fundraising started from Macquarie Homestay, and that was it. And 2 years later, that was when some people said, well, you're going to run that again? And I went, gee, I don't know. And anyway, discussions with South Dubbo Rotary Club, and let's run it again. And now, I think it's entrenched now. It's 4 times it's been run. So since 2013, it's been a biennial event. And
yearly?
No, biennial.
Will you go yearly?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think 2 reasons. One, we've been organising this for the last 6 or 7 months, so it almost means that you'd finish it, you just get over that one, and then you start organising the next one, and you're relying on volunteers. All this is done by voluntary people, and you're relying on those communities as well, and that's the other big part of it. When you start asking people for money, start asking those communities to go and organise events and functions for you as you travel around, accommodation. I think it's putting too much pressure on them to do it every year.
And it may also, Matt, take the enthusiasm away if you do it every year.
Correct.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you've got something to look forward to. And we've had people already say, how do we get registered for the next one? So we know the date for the next one, which is the October long weekend in 2021. So we might get some early advertising out about that while the enthusiasm is high from those riders.
Yeah. How many riders completed?
So we had 13 that took off from Dubbo,
Yep.
and not all of those completed 100%. And I actually just can't tell you the number because we don't focus on that. It's not about I'm the hero, I did 100%. You know, I came first. It's about teamwork, and that's probably the most impressive thing for me. Is that teamwork? We had a rider 24 years of age. He could run rings around me. If you put me and him on a track, he'd be lapping me after a couple of laps. So very good, very fit rider. Other guys that were maybe in their 30s. Very, very good riders. You know, one of our riders spends time in France every year doing some Pyrenees and riding around.
Show off.
But fantastic rider. Then we had a 67-year-old and a 66-year-old. Now, you put all those together, in some circumstances, the younger, fitter riders would be out there and saying, oh, you old fellas, you know, we'll just leave you behind. But the teamwork, where a bit of headwind or even a bit of a side wind, we'd position the slower or weaker riders on one side of the peloton to keep the wind away from them and have the wind being taken by those younger riders. So they're all happy to do that. And that sort of teamwork is fantastic.
There you go. When do you hand the cheque over?
Yeah, look, we've got a bit of finalisation this week. We've got a few people we've got to finalise some money. We've got one of the jerseys I'm wearing, like I've got on now, Mike Tomalaris has signed, so I'll auction that off via social media. So we'll just tidy up a few bits of money. So probably a couple of weeks' time before we finalise a few of those bits and pieces and then have a final amount to hand over.
Well, Matt, I think you need 2 years to make sure your backside covers.
Just about right.
All right.
I think you're right.
Then you can recover again and it starts all over again, raw.
Exactly right, it does
Well
start.
done to you and your team. Quick comment. One,
Sure.
are dams the answer to our drought?
Well, I'm not an expert, Richard, on water, and I know during a campaign a few months back, I talked to a lot of people about water, about a whole range of different issues, and it seemed to me that the experts were saying that just building new dams is not the answer, and for a whole range of reasons there. And when you go out around the areas that we're looking at around there,
You would have seen it.
it wouldn't matter if our dam was bigger, like say for example Burralong Dam was bigger, we still would have used the water that was in there. So I don't know that dams are the answer. I think there's a whole range of management practices that we can employ and engage in. And I suppose the important part, Richard, is recognition that we live in a country where this is more and more the norm. So some people that rely on a year like 2016 where we had a great year for water, some people that rely on that year every year as being the norm, they're going to be in trouble. So I know I talked to a few people during the campaign months ago, and some of them said, years like 2016, expect those 3 out of every 10.
That's right.
Years like we're having now,
We don't prepare, Matt.
that's right. Expect
don't
these the majority of the time. So I think there's a whole range of things we need to do. Just going and whacking in a couple of dams,
Won't work.
it's probably not the answer. You need a holistic approach,
Yep.
and you need a long-term holistic approach. And I know those are swear words I've just said to government, but they're the things that we need: long-term holistic approaches to what is going to be more and more the norm.
You're going to run in the next state election.
Oh, too far away. No, I'm too old by then. I'll have a bottom worn out. And look, you know, I had a crack at that, Richard.
You could use that as a campaign logo.
But I had
My bottom's worn out.
I had a go at that, and you win, you lose, whatever, but you can still make a difference in your community. And events like
done it.
I've just helped organise, you can make a difference in the community that way.
Congratulations to you and your backside.
Yeah, thanks for all your support. It was great talking to you each morning.
It's always fun.
And as we went around, it was amazing how many people said, oh, I heard you talking to Richard this morning, and they'd come along and see us at an event or come and give us some money. So
excellent.
it made a difference.
Yeah, it makes a difference to me too.
Yeah.
Well done to you and your team, your volunteers, to the Rotary crew. Roddy Crowfoot would have a smile on his face. He went to sleep with one last night, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Matt. Matt Dickerson.
Thanks,
24/7.
Richard.